Let's welcome our first guest. She is the Vice President of Development and Production at Marvel New Media, and she's the executive producer of Marvel's 616 and Marvel's Behind the Mask. Sarah Amos, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, we are excited to have you here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started in filmmaking?
I just love storytelling. I love picking a topic or getting to dive into an area of history or something that's interesting to me that perhaps I thought I knew. And then through the process of filmmaking, discover a whole new side of that story that maybe is unexpected, maybe brings out emotion, maybe inspires someone watching at home.
Oh, that's great. And what led you to Marvel New Media specifically?
I was lucky enough to get brought on as we were kind of building up the new media team. To me, it just all clicked in exactly the right way. And I was so lucky to get to join the team and really help kind of spearhead a couple of bigger nonfiction projects that started to dive more into the history and the characters and maybe sides of Marvel Comics that people didn't know existed.
From movies to documentaries to comics, Marvel has told so many groundbreaking stories over the years. Are there any in particular that you've connected with the most?
At the heart of what Marvel is, it is human stories, and it is about our characters, and you can put them through the ringer. So I love Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I love Squirrel Girl. I think anyone who wants some humor in their comics is, yeah, see, you're in. The one that I'm absolutely obsessed with is everything X-Men. There's not a single X-Men comic that comes out these days that I'm not giddy to pick up.
You helped bring some amazing nonfiction Marvel stories to Disney Plus. What made you want to bring people behind the scenes, and what do you hope they discover there?
My hope is that everyone takes away something a little different, right? I think the beauty of Marvel is that there is a comic book or a character for everyone, right? You can love drama or comedy or action adventure, and you can find the thing that you connect with. And we tried to do the same thing with 616, getting to learn more about the history of kind of how Marvel Comics came to be and maybe some unsung heroes that you hadn't heard of before. Getting to watch a comic book get made. We actually follow one of our amazing writers, Dan Slott, and you get to see the artists at work, to see the way our characters and our stories can really affect people's lives. All of those are kind of real human connection and real life lessons and kind of inspirations that I hope people get to enjoy and experience when they watch the series.
I loved episode 2 of Marvel's 616, Higher, Further, Faster, because it breaks down the misconception that comics are only created by men for men. So how did it feel to spotlight all of these amazing women behind Marvel Comics?
That episode is so special to us. Gillian Jacobs came on really early into the series, and she has a real passion and a dedication to help telling the stories of women who were involved in industries that maybe predominantly get seen as male-dominated industries. I think for me, just getting to learn myself and become educated about these incredible creators and the journey for women throughout Marvel Comics was really one of the best things. And seeing the future of where Marvel Comics is going and the way that we are expanding to include more voices and to make sure all points of view are represented and to hopefully put out a product that young girls can pick up or read on their phones and say, hey, I see myself in that, and this inspires me to want to be a part of that industry one day. Like, that's the best thing to get to do.
Yeah, it's really empowering because I feel like shows like this are going to make such a massive, or probably already are making such a massive impact on both boys and girls, because just 5 years ago, me wearing this shirt would get me questioned. You're a fake geek girl. You're not really, you don't read the comics, you don't know what you're talking about, you're just wearing a shirt because you think it's cool. And I think with shows like Marvel 616, audiences get to see, oh, there are women, lots of women, behind some of my favorite characters and stories and people of color, just an array of people that I think the average person doesn't expect. It's a thing of, it's only guys.
The larger media perception has been wrong for a long time, and it is assumed that the fan base only looked like one type of person, and that has not been the case. a lot of the most diehard fans I know of Marvel Comics are women of color. And like they can throw down with way more facts and information than a lot of what people would consider to be traditional fans. So I do think it's great just to get to showcase the wide array of Marvel fans that really are out there and kind of be like, hey guys, this is actually something that everyone can be a part of.
Marvel speaks to such a wide range of ages and gender. Tell us why you think it's important to make these stories so accessible.
Marvel can be very daunting to people. If you haven't read every Captain America run for the last 40 years, how am I going to know where to even begin? And so we did try to tell stories that, yes, were about our characters and our legacy, but not necessarily just about the comics themselves. There is a larger element of storytelling that goes on at Marvel, and there is a larger message that a lot of times we are trying to make sure is encapsulated in the brand and in what we do. And I do think that there are things that people can connect with, even if comics and superheroes aren't their thing.
What advice do you have for future creators?
Be honest with who you are and know your own truth and what you want to take from that and put into your work. And eventually you will connect with the person that sees your truth the same way you do and will help you get it to a larger audience. Know who you are, believe in who you are, and then just have the hard work ethic and the determination to see that through.
It's been amazing having you, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to get to come and meet new people and talk about things I like. So please go watch Marvel 616 and Behind the Mask on Disney+.